you know, obviously you can play the whole horn, and you do classical and all types of stuff, but I think you're...
I mean, to be honest, I mean, I'm not a legit classical musician, but I do enough where people want to hire me for it. You know, because I know there's a lot of C trumpet players out there that sound amazing, but I'm happy that I can be considered.
Well, you're not trying to sit first trumpet in an orchestra.
I am not, yeah.
It's a different gig.
Yeah.
So where I was going was on the B flat, because you've very accomplished in the upper register. Tell us about how, kind of how that came, how Javier Gonzalez, as a high note guy in LA, became to be known, and how, if your role in these different bands has changed as they get to know your playing more.
Well, one thing I for a while, and maybe still so, it's still true, I was labeled only as a high note player. And not that that's entirely insulting. It's not insulting at all. It's just when you're trying to do more aside from that, and that's all you're being recognized for, it kind of sucks, because then you'll have less opportunities to work. And that's what I mean by that it sucks. You just have less opportunities to work. But I kind of geared away from that, still not losing any facility in the upper register, and started working more on C trumpet, more classical repertoire, where there's some people that didn't know I played lead trumpet or jazz, which was pretty awesome.
Right.
You know, where I can come in and play something, and they don't look at me like I'm playing it wrong. You know, what I learned going to Cal Arts is, even though I was there for jazz and multi-focus trumpet, which is everything that evolves in, I had to listen to a lot, so I learned how to imitate extremely well, which we all do, you know. So, I mean, that's what music is. You have to imitate a certain style for movies, for live stuff, and you just imitate. So I just picked up excerpts and etudes and just started playing them the same way as recordings. And then a teacher would tell me how, fix this, change this, more air here, less air there, no vibrato, vibrato, less vibrato, you know, that's what it is, just tweaking. You know, so once I got my foot in that door, people were surprised that I can play. I mean, it's no surprise. I mean, when you can play the instrument, you figure it out. How can I make this sound like the recording or this person? So that's all I did. You know, I actually, for Easter, I've been doing piccolo concertos, baroque concerto. I do opal concertos. Like last year, I did an opal concerto with organ and choir, and nobody had any idea that I was a lead trumpet player or that I can play lead trumpet. You know, it's all about putting on the hat when the hat's called for.
And you like doing it that way?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. For the gearheads out there, and I can help you if you need help.
Sure.
You want to tell them basically what mouthpieces you use on a weekly?
Yeah, the most that gets used is this one right here. This is a 3 SVR VS that you modified. Yeah, it has.
Did I modify that one?
This one that's modified. This is the one we made in December.
Oh right, okay. Yeah, this is a little bit less volume in the cup. I did it as a screw rim. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 SVR with the Speed of Sound series. Okay.
And this thing is, for me, the golden grail.
Okay.
You know, where I could just put this on and it works perfect, amazing. For the C trumpet, I go between two different rim sizes. I go from a 1.5 with the J6
Series.
And then I have a 3F as well.
3 FVR.
Yeah.
Is that in J6 also?
No, it's yes, it is J6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I use those for the. I actually use that one as well for the E flat trumpet, E flat D trumpet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For the piccolo mouthpiece, I use the 14S. Yeah, the S14 AVR.
Okay.
With the P6, you know,
the piccolo one, right?
Yeah, and this thing, I mean, I'm going to be getting the Titan piccolo in a couple of months. I'm saving up for that. But when I got that, my Shoki, I have a gold-plated P54. That thing, it just opened up.
The mouthpiece.
The mouthpiece just opened up.
The horn.
It's amazing. I mean, also just intonation throughout the whole horn. I mean, I have 3 octaves in that trumpet, on the piccolo trumpet, which is, it's amazing. It's so good. And again, not that I play piccolo trumpet all year long. I mean, I don't think really anybody in LA plays piccolo trumpet all year long. It's just a few times out of the year where you really have to, to do it. But just to pick up a mouthpiece that feels so good, similar to my 3S, it's really easy. I mean, again, the biggest thing, intonation. Hearing just feeling where all the slots are.
So what do you mean by intonation? We're not talking about being able to play in tune with the band.
Yeah. So what I've noticed with these mouthpieces that I didn't feel with my other mouthpieces is that from, say, one octave, a C to a C, it always felt like the lower C was in a different place from where the higher C was. When I was using the different mouthpiece for the piccolo, that a lot of people actually are common with using that mouthpiece, I noticed that from C to C, the high C was so far on the high side that I had to lip down in order to make it sound in tune. When I got the new mouthpiece, that C just felt it just sounded right. When I would go from C to C, it just sounded right. I had no adjustment whatsoever, and that wasn't the trumpet. It was the actual mouthpiece that was not allowing me to do that. The new mouthpiece, there's the octave, and it's in tune. There's no adjustment I have to do besides just go C, C, do the arpeggial, and it was in tune. And it was like that throughout the whole instrument. I mean, that's why I found myself that I can actually have 3 ranges. I can play it to a double C and actually higher than that on the piccolo without really forcing myself to do it. And that's what I noticed with that mouthpiece. Yeah.
You are crazy, man.
Well, I mean, as a lead player, when you figure out how to control the airstream up there, and you're used to hearing that frequency on piccolo, it's easier. I know it's not easier for everybody. It's a little more effort, but when you're used to hearing those frequency, it's easier to hear that stuff on the piccolo. Yeah.
And continue on the intonation front. When you came in here for the first trumpet mouthpiece, did you know about the gap? What did you think about that whole thing?
I had no idea about the gap. I did bring in a different mouthpiece to change the gap, because that was before I even got the mouthpiece. I had a GR67S, and I cut that one. We got that one cut, and it did improve it. I found the right gap for this trumpet, and it made it easier. But then when we got that done a few months later, I started noticing other things. I started noticing how uneven certain phrases would be, because the mouthpiece just wasn't really working for me. It actually gave me the right path to go to a different direction. And I tried a few rim sizes. I tried a 3, I tried the 14, the 13. I think those are all the rims I tried, and then with different variations of cups. But I mean, once we locked it in, it's pretty amazing.
So do you believe in adjusting the gap correctly?
Yeah. One, it makes the intonation different. Whether it's better or worse, it's different. And then when I came in, I bought the whole set of gaps, and I tried the most extreme to 7 from the other, and in between. And I find myself playing between 3.5 and 4.5, and anywhere in between. Like right now, I have the 4 on this.
But it does change from trumpet to trumpet or mouthpiece to mouthpiece.
Yeah, and what I've learned is on certain days where you're a little fatigued, just a little more puffiness in the lips, if you go one gap smaller or bigger, it makes it easier. It actually sort of compensates for whatever's happening here, and it works.
So you use it as a tool.
It definitely. That's why I'm going between a whole size difference, from 3.5 all the way to 4.5. I know it's on show day on Monday I used 3.5 because on Saturday and Sunday I worked a lot, thankfully, and there was a lot of FaceTime. So I felt I shouldn't have done that because it was gonna be a long day, but the 3.5 made the whole day run smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've used it, and then when I go to an E flat trumpet, I'm actually at I'm at a 3.5 to 3. On the C, I'm definitely in the 4 range. Yeah. Oh, and the flugelhorn mouthpiece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this flugelhorn mouthpiece I got from you guys is the 3FL.
Yeah, the relatively new one. It's only been finished them a couple months ago.
Yeah. It's funny, going just to the flugelhorn, I came in and you guys just happened to have this. John said, John Ruff was very excited. He's like, yeah, try this flugelhorn. And I was like, I'm saving up for a piccolo, I don't know.
You already had our elite flugelhorn.
I had the elite copper belt flugelhorn, which is amazing flugelhorn. It sounded so great. And actually at that point I was shopping around for a new flugelhorn mouthpiece. I had a really old Bob Reeves flugelhorn from '97 that I got from a friend. And it was great. but the new flugelhorn wasn't working, for me at least. But this thing, I came in and literally played a few phrases, a few notes, I think no more than 30 seconds of playing, and I am taking it.
I remember.
Yeah, and you made a sale within 30 seconds.
Well, John made the sale.
John made the sale,
I remember,
yeah.
I actually think the Titan flugelhorn that Vicente designed made the sale.
There you go.
Leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this thing, it's a huge bell, of course, but I mean it's an amazing horn. It plays, it sounds very big, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. And it makes, the reason I wanted to get a new flugelhorn because I was working a lot with Mike Barone's band, and Mike Barone band, one of the hardest bands I've ever had the opportunity to play in on a regular basis now, have these, all of his charts are shout choruses from beginning to end. Mm-hmm. And they're amazing. They're great endurance builders and just great courage building, gotta be honest. But there's, after, there's one tune, Avalon, where the last note's a high F and you hold it. And then the next tune, I forgot what tune it was, but it had a very delicate flugelhorn unison thing with all 4 trumpets. And I was cracking all over the place, just all over the place. And I got this horn with the mouthpiece, and that was what, maybe 7 months ago?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Again, no issues whatsoever. Everything just falls into place. I mean, it speaks for itself. Nobody was complaining. I wasn't complaining. I actually was feeling great, not just because I had a new instrument, because everything was just feeling so easy. Again, I can play that stuff at home when I practice, but when you're in a bandstand, it's totally different. You're dealing with volume. You're dealing with other sounds coming in, like especially the biggest thing that gets me in these big band rehearsals in those small rooms is when the drums are going, and it's not the drummer's fault, it's the cymbals. They just resonate in the same frequency that we're used to hearing, especially in the high range. So a lot of times, you're hearing all those waves coming at you, and you can't really fight it, so you play louder in order to hear yourself. But I noticed that with this setup, with this horn and this, especially this bell, and the new bell on this thing, I don't have to work so hard, because it doesn't feel so hard. It's great. Funny thing about, I was debating whether to get the big bell or the standard bell.
I remember.
Yeah, and I really wanted the big bell because I've never had a big bell trumpet, and I saw other guys that had it, and I just wanted it. It was more of a, I want what he has type of thing.
Right.
But then using this thing, because I did take both of them home, this thing, hands down every single time, just felt better. Not that I'm hearing more back, but because the intonation of the horn throughout the whole instrument just made it louder. And actually, people have told me that I sound really, really loud in the bandstand. And it's like, it's not that I'm playing real loud, you're probably just hearing it louder because it's just such a clear, piercing, in-tune sound. And whether I'm playing soft or loud, in the bandstand, in the trumpet stand, at least it sounds like I'm playing real loud.
Right.
And I don't feel like I'm playing loud because if I was playing loud, I wouldn't last 3 sets at the Lighthouse with Barone's band.
Right.
Not that I'm lasting, I'm just finishing.